And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for Disney Plus's brand new Star Wars series, Andor, starring Dana Luna as Cassian Andor. Now, this show was to me like pretty much like I guess a prequel to Rogue One, kind of, maybe a little bit in between, depending on how we. For right now, it pretty much sets up to be a prequel to the show, to Rogue One. I apologize. But yeah, I was looking forward to seeing this because I really wanted to know, how does the Rebels even become who they are? Yeah, granted, we know what they do in Rogue One. Spoilers. They pretty much get the plans from the Death Star, how to destroy it, and how so they can set that up and have the Skywalkers do their thing. But how did the Rebels even become who they were? Yeah, granted, the Empire at that point was just basically rising to power. You needed somebody to stand up against the Rebels, stand up against the Empire, excuse me, because, they were already getting out there in the galaxy to become the big, force of fear throughout. So, here's where Andor comes in, or Cassian comes in. You have him show up. And in the first episode, and this is all the first episode, so spoiler for the first episode, you see him for the first time, you meet him, he's looking for his sister. And, you start seeing some flashbacks of him as a kid, and he gets something that caught his eye in the sky, something that's falling, he doesn't know what it is, so his tribe, and it kind of looks like his tribe is all kids, so it kind of feels like if Neverland from Peter Pan was real, in Star Wars, that's what this will be. So I forgot the name of the planet that he was on, but anyway, he comes in, he sees this thing fall from the sky, he's curious of what it is, and then he goes back to him being an adult. And then we see him just looking for his sister. He goes into a bar where he meets some couple of, like, I guess fellow, sees some officers, I guess, off duty, and something happens where he's trying to leave. It's dark alley, typical normal, you walk in a dark alley, somebody's following you, and you think you might get mugged and all that. Something eventually happens where it gets the police involved, and that's exactly what happens here, except in this case, instead of him killing people who are important, he really kind of kills two people who were trying to mug him, in fact, that they were actually officers. So yeah, it gets to that point where he's trying to look for his sister because he has something and he wants to, I guess, depart with, that he on his personal, that he's trying to get rid of, and he's trying to sell, and he's trying to get some money out of it. And it goes from that to basically being, he's basically a wanted man throughout the galaxy now, because what he did was pretty much a big crime. It's like, I guess, kind of like killing an imperial officer in a way. So he kills these two cops, and self-defense, of course, because they were trying to rob him and he's doing his thing. So, and then you meet the other officers, and then when you watch it, it kind of throws you off, because normally when you watch something with Star Wars that's related to anything, authority figure, you normally, okay, the Empire's going to find out, they're going to start sending their troops out to find this person, torture him. If that doesn't work, we'll get the Sith Lords. The typical Star Wars thing that we all know and love. In this case, we really didn't get that. We kind of just got, okay, two officers got killed. Another officer literally shows up and he wants to investigate, like, who's this guy? What was his deal? Why he attacked our guys? That's basically treason right there. And he wants to go hunt them down. Normally, they're not even wearing Empire clothing. They're just basically wearing their own uniforms. They have the patches and all that stuff, but it doesn't really, scream Empire. They do support the Empire, of course, no problem with that, but it's just like, when you watch it, it's like, wow, this is totally different, and the hunt basically begins from there, and it sets up the second episode, which I'm gonna get to in my next video, and you end up seeing, he has a droid named B, which is kind of cool. We meet the person who basically kind of raised him in a way through the flashbacks. I'll get to more than the second episode. But, yeah, for the first episode, I was really quite surprised. A little slow, but you know what? I guess to pick up where the story is, I'm so glad it was 3 episodes. Because honestly, if this was just 1 episode, I kind of would have felt like got a good start because it really was slow, and that's my only negative about this first episode. It was slow. It took a while to get to the actual point of what this was going to, and by the time you get to the third episode, you're like, oh, now it comes around, now it makes sense. So I appreciate that. I'm so glad that Disney decided to drop 3 episodes. Even if they dropped 2, I would have been like, okay, fine, okay, I get it now, it makes sense. Because that first episode, it really kind of started dragging for me, to the point where I'm like, do I want to keep watching this? I mean, there's no Empire people that you can feel the presence of the Empire, but not really feel them. Then you see some laser action fight scenes and it's kind of cool, but it's like, I don't know. Then I watched episode 2 and I'm like, all right, started to pick up a little bit. Then I watched episode 3. I already watched all 3 episodes, so I was like, okay, now I know where you're going. Now I understand. Now let's see where it picks off, moving forward. So I'll talk about those 2 episodes next. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the first Andor episode. Are you guys looking forward to seeing this? Did you guys watch it already? Did you guys like the first 3 episodes? Do you think Disney Plus just do this more often, even with Marvel? 3 episodes drop right away, so that way, gives us more of an understanding of where these stories are going, whether it's Star Wars or Disney or even Marvel. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more, and thank you very much, and have a good day.